I hadn't heard anything.
I haven't either.
I watched the whole thing, and then I missed the very last episode, and this was before DVRs and all that stuff, and then they just never played it again on HBO. So I finally saw the last episode like a month ago or whatever.
That's cool.
20 years later or whatever it is.
Yes, man, that was.
Tandy, you were a fan of Oz?
Yeah. Oh, I watched Oz. Harold Perrineau.
It was a show about a prison. Right?
Oh, it's disturbing. Yes.
The maximum security prison in Oswald Penitentiary.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a comedy, I assume.
Oh, no.
Well, in the very first episode, a guy gets a swastika burned onto his butt by his new like dad, basically.
Classic comedy.
Hilarious. There's a lot of old like faces in there though that you'll be like, oh my god, he was in this, and like
Ooh,
like a lot.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
I like seeing people before they were notable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. And then like,
go ahead.
I was about to say, and then go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, you go ahead. No, you go.
We're doing it.
I was just gonna say, and then from there, because on the show you're like, oh, he's really good. So when you see their career take off, you're like, that's well deserved. He's been good for a long time. Go on. That's all I want to say.
Well, like most notably, Oscar winner J.K. Simmons. Is like the biggest evil guy on the show. Like he is a white supremacist.
I still can't even see that guy in like a nice, friendly. In a nice, friendly way. I try so hard, but I'm forever. Is it Schillinger? Schillinger. He's burned there in my mind.
Yeah,
he's burned there.
Burned like a.
I have to give myself
on the butt.
On the butt. I have to give myself like a once every 5 years. I can watch a real heavy prison show because that shit gets so surreal.
It does.
And I know that consciously there are people being tormented in prisons as I'm watching it. That part just sits with me too.
What about a show like Prison Break, which is a little bit more, I don't know if I call it lighthearted, but it's
they're gonna make it out.
Not
the title. They're gonna have to get into this. They're gonna get out of prison, right?
I like the lighthearted prison show. I'm all for it.
I just think
heroes. Talk about dating myself. Goodness.
Hey, the Prison Break was on network TV, right? Was it like on Fox or something?
Fox,
so you have the so you have the commercials to break it up. Oz is just like straight like
there's like a fade out into the next nightmare.
Exactly. That's all it is. Just nightmare after nightmare after nightmare.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
that's why I was like, I don't know if I can just watch.
Yeah, like don't get attached to a character in Oz because they're probably gonna die in the next episode. Like,
good. Okay.
So many dead.
Yeah,
and in prison people get brutally murdered in prison. Like there's no like he died of old age, right?
No.
They get strangled, beaten, bludgeoned, stabbed.
Yeah.
One of the questions
One
of the questions I'll ask somebody if they recommend a show like, say, Sons of Anarchy to me. I'll say, is this a show about a bunch of assholes being assholes to other assholes? Like, is that mainly what the show is? And I watched a few episodes, and that's mainly what it is, in my opinion. Like, you have that one protagonist that's like somewhat redeemable, but most of the show is just unlikable people just being mean to each other.
All right.
I don't know about those shows too much.
What is your favorite makeup of show then, Antoine? Do you like good people being mean to assholes playing nice with good people, good people doing good things to good people? What's your favorite style of film?
It's an interesting question because I enjoyed, and before I get too far into it, I want to introduce everybody to the Can't Tell Us Nothing
that's
show,
right. Yeah,
which is one of my favorite makeups of shows. You get 4 amazing improvisers from Houston, Texas, and put them in a group and you call it Can't Tell Us Nothing. And then every once in a while, you throw a special guest in there, some other amazing improviser from anywhere in the world. Today we have Chuy from Austin, Texas, improviser extraordinaire. If I do say so myself. Looking at his bio, and you got quite the track record.
Yeah,
you're even in a duo with your son, right?
I am. My 18-year-old son. We're called The Project because like we don't get along that well off stage, so we kind of have to get along on stage. So it's like this project to see if we can get closer as humans, and it's working pretty good. We're going to Tampa. We're going to Tampa in October for a festival. His first on the road, so that'll be fun.
So your duo isn't two assholes being assholes to each other.
Oh, absolutely. We're just constantly screwing each other over on stage. I will actually, like in an edit, I'll just like leave the stage and sit in the audience and leave him on the stage by himself to see what happens. Some great stuff has come out of it. He hates it though. He gets pissed at me. It's fun to play with somebody that green though, because you get to work harder at it. You know, you got to make sure as a vet of 30 years versus his like 1 year or 2 years of doing improv. You know, we're working.
But he's gonna learn super fast.
Oh yeah, he already started an improv club at his school that I teach and all that. So yeah, the whole family. It's the family. We're gonna be the Partridge Family, but of improv. I guess. Get in the bus.
But to circle back to the question, now, you know, I enjoyed the show Breaking Bad. A lot of people have seen it. A lot of people are very familiar with it. I enjoyed it. However, the Walter White character grew to not be a very likable character, in my opinion. Like, I did not enjoy who he was and what he did, right? However, I did like other characters in the show. I like Mike. I like Gus. Both on different sides of the, like, morality. But, like, the way that their characters were portrayed, I found to be enjoyable. They were smart. They were held together. They were resourceful, even though Walter White was, but he was just like nasty, you know, he was just like mean. So I'll say that, like, that's, and I like shows like Always Sunny, right? Like that's another one that's like, you could call them assholes, but they're more just like narcissists. And they have their comeuppance, right? Like you sort of watch them get what's coming to them in most cases, which can be enjoyable in its own right. So yeah, throw a little bit of that in there as well.
As long as it's not a bunch of assholes being assholes to other assholes. Did you watch wrestling? WWF?
When I was young, yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, me too. When I was young, like when I was, I don't know, 30. I've got a signed Sacco puppet from Mankind or Nick Foley that drawer over there right now. Yeah, like I used to love. I mean, I still love wrestling at heart, but man, I was in it during the Attitude Era, and then way back before even Hulk Hogan. I was a Von Erich guy. I mean, if y'all are from Houston, y'all might remember the Von Erichs. They were the brothers that all died crazily and stuff, and they fight Kabuki and Kamala the Ugandan.
Oh, you remember? Yes, Kamala the Giant.
The Iron Sheik. They were, if you didn't get it, they were a white group. The Von Erichs. They were white. They fought everybody who was not.
I have not heard that name in so long. And Kabuki.
Kabuki had that green spray from his mouth.
Yes.
He blinded Fritz Von Erich, evidently. Y'all don't want to talk about this.
Oh,
he started.
It's like old storylines.
I remember. I forgot the storylines. I remember the characters. I remember watching when I was younger. Yeah, man, the Von Erichs. Ted DiBiase. Ted DiBiase. Yeah.
$1 Million Man.
Yeah. Okay, give me out.
He had a suitcase with him at all times, and it was supposed to have $1 million in it. At the time, $1 million, that's a lot of money to be carrying around. I mean, still, like, now only $1 million's only going to get you, like, a house. Lucky. Boy, back then, it's the answer to all your prayers.
Quit your job that day.
Exactly.
Don't work for the rest of your life.
Interest.
The savings interest. Wrestling. That's the testosterone fueled soap opera.
Love it.
Assholes being assholes to other assholes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And they get their comeuppance.
Yeah, exactly. I finally got to a WrestleMania about, I don't know, 8-9 years ago. That was spectacular. Never has a live show been so well put on than that. I mean, it was insane.
Yeah, I want to go to a restaurant.
Yeah, also you have the physical aspect of it, right?
Yeah.
People just flipping and throwing themselves with no care whatsoever through tables and chairs.
Well, in that one, the Vince McMahon's son Shane jumped off of the top of a cage into a table on the ground, like 20 feet up. He fell and just bam, right on his back. Didn't care. Didn't want for the team. Company kid, man. My kid isn't jumping through tables on the improv stage.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Dad, why is there a 20-foot ladder on stage tonight?
Just yes, and would you for one?
For once.
Once.
Oh man.
Yeah, it couldn't be any more less yes and around my household. Like we live that on stage all the time, but when we get to the house, it's like, no, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to do that. No. There's no negative people in this house, I tell you.
Not to get too far down the improv rabbit hole. Of course, we all could talk improv all day, but I do want to ask you, in your opinion, since you've been teaching it for so long, you've taught hundreds of people, what do you think what is the reason that we need to go to about yes and right in the beginning for people? Why is that such an important point? Why is it not easily grasped? I would say it takes a while for people to really understand what that means.
I think because it's so easy to say no. It's real easy to say no. It's a lot harder to say yes and to add something to something. Like basically, like I always say that's kind of no is kind of lazy improv. It just is, you know, you're putting all the onus on your partner to come up with everything about what's happening in the scene. Because you ask me a question or whatever, you give me something, I just say no. Okay, well now you got to come up with something else. So that's harder than just saying no. Saying no is very easy. I get told no all the time. And I just think once you get that like ingrained in you, then you can start playing with the form more and you can start being more negative. I don't think yes and's like I don't do it still at 30 years in. Like I'm bad about it sometimes, you know. I'm really bad about it. But you know, you got to be able to play both sides of that. You got to be able to say no, but then add something eventually. You can't just leave your partner out there to flounder.
Yeah,
my opinion. But
100%. Yeah, definitely agree. I think there's a fear to it, right? People don't want to be responsible for where the scene may go. I don't know why. I don't know what the risks are. You know, the scene doesn't make sense, right? Like maybe you're worried you were not communicating well. I think there's a lot of fear that's at the base of it.
Yeah. And that creative part of it comes from the and part. Like that's a hard part to cultivate as well. How do you like take those normal conversations we have in life and make them like interesting on a stage? They're not necessarily that interesting a lot of times. And sometimes that's kind of compelling to watch on stage, if you ask me. But you get that creative mind flowing. You get it started early in your improv career, and you're gonna go far. You're gonna be all right.
Yeah.
So, all you kids out there, listen to that. All you kids out there who are starting improv clubs in your high school, like I did way back when you were 15. So, just remember that. Yes.
How'd you hear about improv when you were a kid?
Well, my mom was a theater teacher, and she was my theater teacher for all of my years. And I found out through some other theater friends of mine that there was this group in San Antonio, Texas called the Oxymorons that would perform on the weekends. And I'd been watching Whose Line Is It Anyway a little bit, the British version. That's how old I am again.
I've seen it.
Yeah. And we would go, my now wife and I, when I was 15 and she was 16, we would drive from the football game on Friday nights out to the Oxy show at like 10:45. We never missed a show because we were hooked like the very first time. And in fact, kind of a sad note, I just spoke at the man who kind of taught me improv out of the Oxymorons. I spoke at his funeral on Saturday. He and his wife passed tragically, but he taught me everything I knew, and he just kind of all I did was ask him, like, what do you do? How do you do this? And he said, well, I'll come out to your school and I'll teach you how. Most generous man. And so I've kind of tried to carry that on. Like I said, I teach my kids improv club at his school, and I have a hard time charging to teach kids. Like, it's just too fun. You know, they're so young and easy to. They listen. They want to know. They want to know this stuff. It's new to them and it's fun. They're not jaded yet.
We cut to a summer improv camp. All right, listen, counselors, we've had low attendance this year, and that means that we're going to actually have to charge the kids that are coming to this improv camp. I know most of you all are pretty cool with it because I give you bonuses and I actually pay you out of that money. But before we do that, I just wanted to make sure everybody was okay and on the same page about us actually charging the kids to take improv summer courses with us, okay? So let's go around the room. Let's just get whatever you want off your chest. Let's keep it professional. Let's keep it respectful. And then ultimately, we'll see what happens.
I didn't know we weren't charging them. I've been collecting $5 from every kid at the end of lessons every year. I thought that was just how we were doing it. I didn't know that it had to go. I thought that came to me personally. I didn't think it had to go into a pool or anything like that. I didn't get the memo about this.
You didn't get the memo.
No.
Did you see anybody else taking money out of the kids' hands?
Well, I didn't take money out of the kids' hands, but I did say that each one of them needs to give me a portion of their lunch every day.
You were taking their lunch?
It's just a portion. It still has some to eat off of, you know. It's just a little lesson in giving and contributing to the class and what they're learning. But money, that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't charging them money or stealing, taking any lunch. But while they were at lunch, I was going and stealing some of their things from their rooms.
Oh.
They brought it to the camp. It becomes property of the camp.
Exactly. Yeah. That's kind of how I feel about it.
Wait a second. That is not true. All right. The property laws that we lease this building specifically states we can't touch personal property, Amici. That is stealing.
Oh, I thought we had camp laws. I thought it was different out here.
Well, I'm so glad you brought this up, because then if that's not legal, what you're saying is that me getting all of their social security numbers and claiming them on my taxes is illegal?
Why would you need to claim them on your taxes, Tandy? This is improv summer camp.
But that's the only way that I will be able to get some sort of reimbursement along with tax cuts.
I figure she taught them. She deserves the very least.
Yeah, they're here for the whole summer. That's 3 months out of the year. I have cared for those kids.
They're going to go out there and make all that money doing improv, and we're here teaching it for free. Are you kidding me?
What about the parents?
It's a big sacrifice.
What about the parents? The parents drive them here, spend all the money on their food, Antoine, that you're stealing. Their clothes and backpacks and shoes, Amici, that you're taking. The money from the snacks that we give them at the end of the camp that they can't even get, Chuy, because you're taking the money from them. That's why our enrollment is going down.
Is that what it is? I've been getting all of these letters from the IRS and from family, but I'm just not opening them.
You need to open them, because it could be.
Wait, so is camp law a thing or not? I thought it was like international waters, but for camps.
For camps. International waters.
Aren't these native lands? These are native lands that we're on. This is camp.
Are you saying we got native reserve rights? There's still rules against stealing, Chuy. There's still rules against manipulation.
This land was already stolen. So
exactly.
Been seen.
A camp on stolen native.
Can't make rules on stolen land.
We stole this camp. Like, this is what
so you mean the casino that we're funding? I mean, that we started?
Yeah.
Is illegal? I mean, because this is protected land. Recoup our losses.